Matt, are you watching the news again? It's so boring. Why do you sit around watching that stuff while I'm cleaning up your dishes?
I'm not just watching the news, I'm watching the coverage on the presidential election. Besides, you're better at washing dishes. When I do it, you complain the dishes are still dirty.
That's because you do a lousy job. Who cares about the presidential election anyway?
Who cares? I care, and you should care too. Everyone who lives in America should exercise the right to vote.
Voting's a waste of time.
Melissa, do you know how long it took women to be recognized as equals and gain the right to vote?
We've always been able to vote. We just have more important things to do than sit around and watch the news.
Susan B. Anthony would be mad at you. It took more than 150 years for women to get the 19th Amendment passed, giving them the right to vote. You should really exercise this right, considering voting on our president will affect your life.
Who is Susan B. Anthony?
She and other brave women like Alice Paul believed it was very, very important for women to get the right to vote. In the late 1800s, they led the women's suffrage movement, which eventually gained women the respect they deserved and equal representation when it comes to voting.
All right. So you taught me something I didn't know. I've got something to teach you, though, mister.
I'm all ears.
Did you know that your vote doesn't even count? It's only the electoral votes that count. In 2000, Al Gore won the popular vote, but it didn't even matter because Bush got more electoral votes. Now do you see why you're wasting your time? Unless you become an elector, your vote will just be ignored.
You know, Melissa, I hate to say it, but you're kind of right.
What do you mean, kind of?
Well, it's true that it takes the majority of the electoral votes to win the presidential election. The majority being at least 271 votes out of the 538 electors. The part you don't seem to know about is the electors base their vote on the popular votes. We vote for the electors who promise to represent our vote in the presidential election.
Those electors aren't doing a very good job if in 2000 Bush won, even though Gore won the popular vote.
Melissa, the reason that can happen is due to the winner-take-all system, where the majority of the popular vote in a state gains all the electoral votes in that state. In each state, even if a candidate only wins the popular vote by a few votes, that candidate will also receive all of the electoral votes for that state. The only exception to this rule is Nebraska and Maine. So you see, our votes do count, and it is very important that you exercise your right to vote.
Wow. I never thought I'd be saying this, but you're right. Now scoot over and turn up that news. I need to get educated. I don't want old Susan B. Anthony haunting me for wasting my right to vote.
My pleasure. I'm glad you're taking an interest in the election. Did you know that only less than half of Americans actually exercise their right to vote? If the other half decided to vote, who knows which way this could sway the elections?
That's incredible. I feel a little bad for wasting my right all these years. I think I'll talk to all of my friends about this. I think many people may just be misinformed like I was. Thanks again, Matt. You made a voter out of me.